So you may have noticed over the last few days that Death Stranding 2 is the big talk of the town. My goodness, Kojima, will you please slow down? I made a little rhyme about Kojima games, it wasn't on purpose. My goodness, 30 frames. But Death Stranding 2 has been getting used a lot in the console war. Bunch of PlayStation dudes just like hanging out the Metacritic page, hanging around the Death Stranding Metacritic page, there she was. Oh, that song's stuck in your head too, you're welcome. I did this to you. And I just think it's such a funny game to be used in the console war because we all know it's not going to be exclusive for long. It's like when people try to use flippin' Grand Theft Auto in the console war, saying that like, oh, it's gonna be the best place to play on PlayStation because there's no PC port, even though we all know there's going to be a PC port, because why would there not be a PC port? It's flippin' Grand Theft Auto. And in the case of Death Stranding, not only is this a Sony published game, and nowadays no Sony published games are actually safe from being ported to PC, it seems, but also this is the sequel to a game that got a PC port. It was a very successful PC port. So not only do you know it's coming to PC and it's not going to stay a PS5 exclusive, but there's a pretty good chance it doesn't even stay a PlayStation console exclusive. The first Death Stranding was ported to Xbox not that long ago, and that's really the only thing you do if you're planning on putting the other games there as well. You don't put the first entry in a franchise game on a different platform super late unless you're planning on doing something with that platform in the future of that franchise. Death Stranding 2 is a coming to PC, and it's very likely a coming to Xbox. And there's nothing wrong with that. Why would there be something wrong with that? More people getting to play the game is always a good thing, especially when it's a game that's not even going to be staying exclusive for the entirety of its life cycle. But the conversation around Death Stranding has gotten me thinking about the mere concept of timed exclusivity and how it's something that we're starting to hear a lot more of these days, mainly because publishers like PlayStation and Rockstar like to do this weird dance where they act like there's not going to be another version of the game, and then kapoof, oh my goodness, what a surprise, there's another version of the game. It's like, yeah, we all knew you were going to do that. You do this every flippin' time. And it's funny because some console-centric, or at least previously console-centric companies have been putting a lot of effort into expanding to the PC recently. And I just find it funny that the aggressive expansion into PC ports by some companies is also like perfectly being matched with an uptick in secret timed exclusives from other companies. And I gotta tell you, as someone who's so anti-exclusive and so anti-console these days on the YouTubes, I have to tell you, the timed exclusive thing actually annoys me more than permanent exclusives. Because with actual permanent exclusives, at least you can use the argument that like, oh, they improve the library of the hardware. It's not the hardware being held hostage by a publisher. It's not all being done for corporate greed. No, this game will be exclusive to this console forever and ever and ever, and that's a good thing, and we're never porting it anywhere ever. This would be the Nintendo mindset, and until recently, the PlayStation mindset. The eras of actual exclusive games that actually were never expected to go anywhere after they were released on the console. But that's just not the world we live in nowadays. A whole lot of franchises that were console exclusive for a long time are no longer console exclusive, and we have publishers like PlayStation openly talking about the fact that they want to get aggressive into the PC space. We have companies like Microsoft who have completely abandoned the idea of permanent console exclusivity just in its entirety. But I take serious issue with the very idea that a game gets announced as an exclusive when from the beginning everyone involved knows that the game is not going to stay exclusive, and they don't communicate that with the consumer. That is what bothers me more than anything. And even if it is communicated to the consumer, it still doesn't change the fact that this is the most obnoxious and most like openly corporate thing in the entire industry. I mean, here you have a company that's asking you to spend hundreds of dollars on its hardware, and one of the ways that they entice you with that hardware is the fact that they have this ecosystem of games that they spend that hardware profit on to make your time there as like beneficial as possible. You buy the console, you invest in the studios, or at least that's the stupid line that they use. Buying a console is not an investment, it's very stupid wording, but that's a different topic. But a timed exclusive, especially a third-party timed exclusive, is it's basically the publisher admitting that they know this is all artificial. This is all unnecessary, and this is nothing more than them trying to use other companies to do their work for them, because they're not going to use that money to make their platform better, and they're just openly conceding the point that the games that they have there and the experience they have there is not good enough to sell the game on its own. Which, I mean, I thought those were two of the express purposes of exclusive games. If you're not using the exclusive game to sell the hardware in any kind of permanent way, why are you even doing the exclusive game? Oh, that's right, because you want the benefits of actually funding your own projects, but you don't want but not have to full commit to the idea of it being good enough to sell the hardware. The problem with timed exclusivity is the fact that it's all of the arrogance of a first-party exclusive without actually having to put in any of the work, or be invested in it as a long-term success. Timed exclusives in themselves are an anti-consumer practice because it's the same game, but you're punishing the consumer, not even your own consumers, you're punishing other consumers for not getting on your platform fast enough. I think that's the difference here between a first-party exclusive and a timed third-party exclusive, or a timed first-party exclusive. The tactic went from making your product and your ecosystem as appealing as humanly possible. The tactics went from that to actively punish and blackmail people for not entering your ecosystem. It's weaponized economic FOMO, and it's so goddamn arrogant. Because it's not enough that your system and your ecosystem weren't impressive enough to entice literally everyone. It's not just that. It's also that you want to almost teach a lesson to the people who didn't buy your hardware. And instead of using that money to make your hardware and make your ecosystem more appealing to the people who aren't there, you're instead using that money to almost beat them over the head with the fact that they're not there. Which, I'm not sure how that's supposed to make anyone feel better about getting on your ecosystem. And the thing is, if you're a developer or publisher in this situation, I get it, I really do. What else are you supposed to do? A company comes up and offers you a gigantic pile of cash if you don't make one version of the game as fast as the other version of the game. From a consumer friendliness standpoint, obviously this probably isn't the best way to maintain a good relationship with your customers, especially if you've been making multi-platform games and made a reputation off of multi-platform games. Suddenly doing a timed exclusive is not the best way to make people feel like you really made the most of their support. But I mean, if you're a publisher who's just trying to make money off of games and make money off of these IP and trying to make things profitable, it can be really appealing to take that check, especially if that check would offset some of the lost sales. Like, from a business standpoint, it makes sense why publishers and developers take these timed exclusivity deals, but that doesn't make it right. It means it's just yet another thing in the AAA industry that is openly anti-consumer and openly meant to entice people to buy something they may not want to buy otherwise, or basically just force them into it. It's a shady-ass, disrespectful practice, but if you have shareholders to answer to, or if you're an indie developer who just needs to make sure they break even, why wouldn't you take the deal? Because from a monetary standpoint, a lot of the time, what is there to lose? You won't get as many initial sales, but you'll get a lot more initial money, and you'll still have the long-term sales on the other platforms anyways. I don't know. Maybe this has just been me rambling for no reason. Maybe this is just me starting to lose my mind from bulk recording videos for while I'm out of town. And maybe these are just the incoherent ramblings of a hyper pro-consumer person who just thinks that timed exclusives are the dumbest thing on the planet, because if you wanted people to buy your flippin' hardware, make the flippin' hardware worth buying. Why is this a hard concept? And honestly, this is why I appreciate Microsoft putting their games on all platforms, just getting rid of any kind of exclusivity in their, mission plan, basically. Yes, release the games everywhere. Let everyone play them. Sell way more copies than you would if you hadn't released them on everywhere. And then use that money to put back in your ecosystem and try to figure out new ways to get people to like you. Microsoft seems to at least understand how not to piss people off at every given opportunity. Wait, what's this? Microsoft's doing more layoffs. Well, I'll just go fuck myself then. Everything sucks and I hate it. Toodles. Hello there, dear viewer. I'm currently out of town. I want to do the Doofus Club, instead I have to frown. The 7th of July is when I will return. You have until that date to make your name a burn. I summon you, O Doofus, to change your silly name, so when I record the next end credits, I have but myself to blame. Fart Nugget Poopy Spit Sack. Adam Raz 26, Max Killer V2 Gaming, Kyle Ward 789, Nate Blast 1314, Jimmy Chops, Mom Close the Door, I'm Goonie, Michael Musial, Master Killer, Firestorm 2056, Demetrius Papajorno, Showbiz NCNA, Banshee, Tom Snorlax, and N Omega Moltheme, Dan Porter Dan Porter Bridges, One Man Savage, Binary Deviant, Oracle, Unknown 186718, Kev Dog 1992, Joe from Furcon, Official Dregs, Mash Star, No Mom, It's Mine, I'll watch it as fast as I want, Bear Brain, Epion 504, Grimsy, Edge Knight 1789, The Caffeine Addict, Corporal Dixon, Kushka, Unicorn Rocco, El Antagribus 2005, Thunder Fondue, Ass Shitter 69 420 Remastered Poopy Edition. Look, listen, appearing offline does not fucking stop it. Tom from Spokane, Raisinger, Sensenakage, and Non-Volog, Tickle Biddies, Partial Mean 8, Nick, Volksalto, JJ Dusty, Held Nuva, Cod Stop It, Codman 4372WX. I need a stupid name for Joe to read out loud for everyone to see. Celerock, Gold Pyrac, Alderoth 01. I pay for this with a stolen elderly woman's card. Doug Nixie Smile, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000. Joe, please let us touch it. Tip you, Joe, please let us touch it, you sexy man. MK2396, EM I'm still in the moat. Joe, please get help. Hentai X, Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105, Cleveland Penguin, GWXSS, Rast the Wolf, Emiko, Okie Toodles, Jack Amy, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Really Zerg, Gaming with the People, All Games Video, Japanese name that says, oh no, Joe is out of town, however will I goon with myself. Todd Howard is our Lord and Savior, Chris Void, Pope Ralph on the Rat King, Jessica Spiral, Jessica Shepard, Riki Spiral, Riki Tiki Tabby, Muskie, that video was not funny, Joe, you should cut that, Grooming the Steel Angel, Nintendo and PlayStation, Fanboy Civil War is coming, Jaws and Jason Bond, Baron Von Vaderham, Cyrus 6771, don't call me doofus, it hurts my feelings, True Text 940, I'm Joe's phone, text notification, ding.mp4, the first doofus, Creed Warrior 23, Max the Chev, Chap is going away for a while, take care for now, Totally Insane, Eva, Autry, Black Cobra, the NWA Slayer, Night of Cypher, and ML04, I own 6 cards that clicked 2006 on Blu-ray, oh no, it's a bald Banana Man, Wolf of Midnight, Stick Rider, Pig Venus, Sequence Studios, Film McCracken, Ohm Gaming, Tariq Brown, Thorn Skating, Bag and Neck, Severin Evans, Sonny 03, it's Catalina Fricker, Y Mixer, Pow Pow, White Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Donegan, Draws Max on Twitch, Come Hang Y'all, Gov Gosson, Rogue Winter 19, Bobby Hinder, Kenny Kitten Fanny, Hangman for Hire, Elden Noble, Frost Crystal, Biogenesis, Ian in Action, Pumpkin Pinkins 97, Mega Keys, Crevice Go, Ghost Ho, Rias, Agony Jojo 6, Vast Girl, Raptor, Tim, The Amazing Blight Man, Blue Hook, Jeff from Portland, I'm using my Steam Deck as my main PC, nice, Jody Breeze, Smitty, Worker Jägerman Jensen, Max Lorel Cholo, Zord, Big Advertisement, Diego Garcia, JJ Justin, and my Kimmikins, I American Idiot, Darth Muffin, I don't know, it's Justin, Rain, Rui, Twin Women, Mechanical Raising is an N6 Stream, The Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, Negative Taku, Joe, no, Negative Creep, Joe Taku, Poop P Bang, Cat Chicken Sucker, Mom Banger 8008, Wannabe Hobo Jidge, West Sabilla 310 Char, Rub C, Veg, Groovy Banana, Curtin, Allen, Spack, the Scrum Master Scroll with the gun, makes my pee nuts go pew pew. You're stuck with that shitty ass reading for the next, week. Okay, toodles.